In a dimly lit gym, Jessica burst into the locker room, her heart racing. "Amber, there's a skeleton in here!" she exclaimed, her voice trembling. Amber, lounging on a bench, rolled her eyes. "Really, Jess? A skeleton? You're just trying to scare me!" Frustrated, Jessica pointed behind her, but Amber dismissed her fears with a laugh. Little did they know, lurking in the shadows was a ghastly skeleton, its bones stained with remnants of its last meal. The air grew cold, and a sense of dread enveloped them. Jessica's warnings fell on deaf ears as they both began to complain, their voices echoing in the eerie silence. Suddenly, Amber felt a chill crawl up her spine. She turned, and there it was, the skeleton, grinning wickedly. "See? I told you!" Jessica shouted, but Amber's disbelief remained. "It's just a prank!" she insisted, even as the skeleton lunged forward, its bony fingers reaching for her. In a moment of panic, Jessica laughed, a strange mix of fear and defiance. With a swift motion, she tore the skeleton's head off, yet to their horror, the body continued to writhe and dance, a grotesque marionette of death. Amber's eyes widened in shock, and a scream escaped her lips. "Run!" Jessica yelled, grabbing Amber's arm as they bolted for the exit. The skeleton, headless yet relentless, chased after them, its bones clattering ominously. They burst through the gym doors, hearts pounding, adrenaline surging. Outside, the night air felt like freedom, but the haunting laughter of the skeleton echoed behind them. They didn't stop until they reached the safety of the streetlights, panting and wide-eyed. "Okay, maybe you were right," Amber admitted, her voice shaky. They shared a nervous laugh, a bond forged in fear, knowing that the nightmare was far from over. The skeleton would always haunt their dreams, a reminder of the night they faced the unimaginable. The following day, Jessica and Amber met at their favorite coffee shop, still shaken from their encounter. The sunlight poured in through the windows, illuminating the room, but the warmth did little to ease their minds. "Do you think it was just a dream?" Amber asked, her fingers wrapped tightly around her mug. Jessica shook her head vehemently. "No way! It felt too real. We have to figure out what that skeleton was and why it was in the gym." Amber nodded, her curiosity piqued despite her lingering fear. "Maybe we should investigate, find out if anyone else has seen it." They decided to return to the gym armed with flashlights and their phones, determined to unveil the mystery behind the haunting presence. As they approached the gym, the building loomed ominously against the evening sky. The flickering lights inside cast eerie shadows, and the air felt heavy with anticipation. "Are you sure about this?" Amber asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "We can't just ignore it," Jessica replied, steeling her resolve. They pushed open the heavy doors, the sound echoing in the stillness. The locker room was just as they left it, empty and quiet. Jessica felt a shiver run down her spine, but she pressed on. "Let's check the back room," she suggested, leading the way. As they crept through the dark halls, the atmosphere thickened with dread. Suddenly, a loud clattering noise echoed from behind them. They spun around, their hearts racing, but it was just a loose piece of equipment falling to the ground. Finally reaching the back room, they found it cluttered with old gym equipment and dusty boxes. As they rummaged through the debris, Amber stumbled upon a tattered journal. "Jess, look at this!" she exclaimed, flipping it open. The pages were filled with frantic scrawls about strange occurrences in the gym, reports of missing people, sightings of a skeleton figure, and warnings to stay away. "This is it! This is what we were looking for!" Jessica exclaimed. "It's like a diary of the gym's dark past." As they read through the entries, a chilling realization dawned upon them. The skeleton they encountered was not just a figment of their imagination, it was a manifestation of the gym's cursed history. Armed with knowledge and a newfound determination, Jessica and Amber decided to confront whatever haunted the gym once and for all. They gathered supplies, a salt circle, candles, and the journal, preparing for a ritual to confront the skeleton. As darkness fell, they returned to the gym, their hearts pounding in anticipation. Setting up in the center of the locker room, they lit the candles and arranged the salt circle. "If the skeleton is tied to this place, we have to show it that we're not afraid," Jessica said, her voice steady. Suddenly, the temperature dropped, and they felt an otherworldly presence surrounding them. The skeleton appeared, its hollow eyes glowing with a sinister light. "Why have you come?" it hissed, its voice echoing through the room. Jessica stepped forward, holding the journal high. "We know about you! We know your story!" she shouted. The skeleton paused, its expression shifting as if it recognized the weight of its own history. As they recounted the journal's tales, the skeleton's rage began to fade, replaced by an eerie sadness. "I was once like you, full of life," it whispered, its voice barely audible. "But I was cursed for my greed, trapped in this gym for eternity." Jessica and Amber exchanged glances, understanding that the skeleton was not merely a monster, but a tragic figure. "We can help you break the curse," Amber said, her voice filled with compassion. With the skeleton's reluctant guidance, they followed the journal's instructions, completing the ritual. As the final words were spoken, a bright light enveloped the room, and the skeleton began to dissolve, its bones turning to dust. In its place, a gentle breeze filled the gym, carrying away the darkness that had long haunted it. Jessica and Amber stood in stunned silence, realizing that they had not only faced their fears, but had also freed a lost soul. The gym was never the same after that night. The atmosphere lightened, and the lingering dread was replaced with a sense of peace. Jessica and Amber became legends at the gym, sharing their story of bravery and compassion. They had confronted the unimaginable and emerged stronger, bonded by their shared experience. Though the skeleton had vanished, its memory lingered on, a reminder that sometimes the scariest monsters hide the deepest sorrows. And as they moved forward, Jessica and Amber knew that they would always be ready to face whatever other challenges life threw their way, together. Boo! Did someone say skeleton? Ever had a dream that left you shaking? Jessica and Amber sure did. Picture this, a spooky skeleton lurking in a gym locker room trying to munch on their fears. But here's the twist. Even after Jessica tore the skeleton's head off, it kept on dancing. Talk about a bone-afide nightmare. Did you know that around 60% of people experience nightmares regularly? Whether it's a skeleton or something else, it seems we all have our share of frightful dreams. So, are you ready to face your own scary stories? Share your wildest dreams in the comments below.